Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. Today we got a Mio Veni Urus that I'm about to restore. Now, this car is obviously based on a Dacia Duster, which I very much dislike. But it's fine because this is not a Dacia Duster. It's a fictional car, and it's fine as I don't have to work on a real Dacia Duster in real life. As long as I don't have to work on one of those suckers in real life, it's all well and good. So we're gonna take off all the body bits for now, and the body bits and body parts or whatever, and we're gonna replace the rims and and then we're gonna build the body back together, basically. It's kind of like talking about things like the Dacia Duster. It's kind of crazy where priorities lie these days in car building. Like, for example, Dacia is the less prestigious and cheaper label or like brand of Renault, if you will. So wait, didn't we take that out? Oh, okay, I see now. Do we have another front bumper? Did we not replace the front bumper? No, we did not. What, I bought both? I'm an idiot. I'm never gonna restore one of these suckers again. Why did I buy both? But anyway, what I was talking about is that for a cheap car like the Dacia, like they tried to make it as cheap as they could, while also installing like a decent amount of gadgets on the inside, which raises the question: is that really necessary, or is it better if you build a half-decent engine first and then try to save money on things that aren't all that necessary, like like toys and gadgets on the inside? I think personally I would do this option rather than the other one. But obviously I realize there's a lot of people out there going like, oh look, it's got this many features already and it costs half as much as, you know, I don't know, a Volkswagen Tiguan, which may be a comparable sized SUV to this. Yeah, it's got just as many options, but it costs half as much. I understand that. At the same time, first of all, I mean, the Volkswagen Tiguan is probably not the best example for a car with a great reputation in the current situation we're in with the emissions thing and whatnot. Like, you've heard of it, you know what I'm talking about. Trying to think of what else would be a comparable SUV to this. A Fiat Panda, not a Fiat. Actually, let's go with a Fiat Panda, which I would rather have than a Dacia Duster, because not only is it smaller and it's all-wheel drive, it's probably also like, well, it is about the same price as a Dacia Duster. However, like, how do I explain this? A Panda is kind of practical, and it has its reputation for being a car that's, you know, not blowing the doors off in performance or anything, but it is decently comfortable. It is relatively economical. It's, you know, very practical. It looks better than a Duster, I think, and, you know, while it is a Fiat, and Fiats are not the most reliable cars out there, they're certainly better than Renaults or especially Dacias. Like I've had, I've known I've known somebody, a man who works on kind of a, how do you say this, on a, you know, they build stuff. They work for the community basically. They do like the pavements. They do kind of the cyclist routes and whatnot. They just, there's a term for this that I just can't think of right now. So social? No, it's not social. It's anyway. They do work for the community, for the local community, and they have a semi truck from Dacia. They bought it brand new, and after just 40,000 kilometers, like, the brakes were not, like, they did not have to replace the brakes. They needed to replace the entire brake system, you know, everything. Then the entire the entire suspension arms, even the cross member, the just huge major repair works after just 40,000 kilometers. Like, does it get any worse than that? And that brings the question, is it really worth building a car from materials this cheap and with just such poor quality, only to be able to sell more of them, and then as a result, you know, at first people are gonna buy them because they think, well, yeah, it's cheap, well, I'll buy it. At the same time, after a couple of years, people will realize, hey, those cars are ridiculously cheap for a reason. They're actually very, very poorly made, and I think people are gonna start to realize that Dacias are actually pretty bad cars, and hopefully stop buying them. Like, I don't get anything, but I was not paid to say what I'm saying, but you know, I just want people to not buy the wrong car and then be like extremely unhappy and displeased about their purchase. So that's where I'm coming from. I want you guys to be happy, so don't buy a Dacia. That's all I'm saying. At the same time, this right here is not a Dacia. It looks like one, but it's a fictional car. So what else is there to say? As far as injectors go, I have been doing a little bit of research on the internet on, you know, tuners, local or not local, and I just realized I totally forgot to buy the new parts, but that's okay. And I found a couple of tuners, obviously, on the internet, but none of them were Austrian and had injectors for sale at all, generally speaking. And I found a German tuner that apparently does, and I you know, wrote him a message asking, hey, do you, because so far I've only seen injectors for petrol engines on their sites, from different manufacturers, but none for diesel. So I asked them, hey, do you sell injectors for diesel engines as well, and do you have one for, you know, this engine that I have? And I still haven't gotten a reply yet. They still didn't reply, but hopefully they will. And then obviously it's going to depend on the price and the shipping cost, whether or not I'm gonna actually do it. So we are almost done with dismounting this this car. We will take out the pistons, then the crank, then the engine block. Then we're gonna buy parts and then we're gonna build it back together. Well, you know what? I shouldn't have. Well, it's gonna be a little bit more inconvenient then, because I don't know what front drive axles this has. So, you know what? Front drive axle C. Okay, that's good. It is a single overhead cam engine. We do not have ABS. Yes. Then an alternator, a battery, a belt tensioner. Yes. We got. No, we don't have double wishbones. We got discs all around. We have a brake servo. That is correct. It's a single overhead cam engine. We have some of these. We have a cat. Alex and me, we don't have a cat at our new apartment. But anyway. Crankshaft pulley. Here's the thing. Does this have a regular drive shaft or does this have something different? Front drive shaft 4x4. And then also a drive shaft, okay. Okay, so an engine block, and then the head, then an engine head cover, this manifold, the cover, an exhaust pipe, a flywheel, two of those, front exhaust section, front steering knuckle A. The cross member is okay, just a regular one. Sway bar should be the regular one as well. Yep, okay. Front wheel hub, fuel filter. Then this. One of these, I think. Some wires, two of these. One of those. Still haven't used these yet. I don't know what they're for. No leaf springs on this car. I was almost about to buy them. A middle muffler, one of these, one of these. Rear axle not housing A, yeah, has to be. Rear drive axle, rear muffler, rear shock absorber, Now which rear suspension cross member do we have? The rear-wheel drive one. Okay, that's interesting. So the rear sway bar should be the B. Yeah, it is. Rear wheel hub. One of that. 10 of these. I think I just bought 11. That's fine. Then 2 of those. 2 spring caps, a starter steering rack. Sweeper front end link A. Sweeper rear end link. One of these. One of those. Then a water pump. No, actually 4 bearings, no caps. Because we are driving all 4 wheels. And now we're gonna put everything back together. Oftentimes, like that is something that I've noticed. Some people think I don't like the Mazda MX-5. I like it. Wait, what? Give me a second. I like it. It's just that I think it could be it just would be better if it were also offered with, you know, some stronger engine options. For example, here in Austria, I know there are some stronger engine options available, like in the US or in other countries, but here all we get is the 1.5 liter with 131 horsepower. Really, Mazda? Like my Golf diesel is probably faster in a straight line than that, and also it's more economical. So, you know, obviously the MX-5 has many advantages. For example, that it handles better, it brakes better, it'll last longer from now on than my already almost 20-year-old Golf diesel. So much is for sure. And also, like, just overall, it's a better car. I'm just saying, it's not even as fast as my car, and that from a so-called sports car is, you know, a little bit dubious. What if they put like a, I don't know, what if they turbocharged said 1.5 liter engine to make it produce something like 180 horsepower, maybe 200? That would just make it a lot better overall, I think. Also, they can turbocharge it and, you know, make it so that it's still more economical than it is now as a naturally aspirated engine, even if it doesn't make like if it doesn't make 200 horsepower. Like, that's totally fine with me. But there is like a driving school also in Austria that is, you know, that can teach you how to drift, and basically anyone can participate in this course, provided that, and here it comes, your car is river drive and it's got more than 140 horsepower. So say you buy yourself a new Miata now, and because you want to do the freaking drift school with it, or whatever you want to call it, and you can't because it's got 9 horsepower too little, so you know you can't participate. Obviously, Mazda themselves in Japan can't probably don't even know about the kind of thing that I'm talking about right now. They don't know this driving school that I'm talking about, and as a result, they probably don't care about, you know, the numbers as much. However, just thinking about it, the MX-5 is supposed to be considered a sports car, right? Like what exactly is the sport part of the 131 horsepower? Like that may well have been a sports car 20 years ago, sure, but you know, we've moved on. Back then in like the 90s, the Mark III Golf GTI had what, 160 horsepower, 170 maybe. Today we're at 230. That's an increase of like 30% or even 40. No, not 40, but 30% for sure. And even the GTI is oftentimes not considered a sports car. I at least personally don't think the Golf GTI is a sports car, because in my opinion the only real front-wheel drive sports car is a Honda Integra Type R, because it really handles very well. It's very agile, and it doesn't understeer anywhere near as much as any other so-called front-wheel drive sports car. Obviously now, recently, in the past few years, there have been a couple of front-wheel drive cars that handle very well and that also don't understeer very much because they have differentials. That's been kind of a trend lately, to put the differential on absolutely everything that's supposed to go a little bit faster than the norm. For example, the new Honda Civic Type R obviously has a differential. The Renault Megane RS, and especially the trophy version that lapped the Nürburgring in less than 8 minutes, of course that's got a differential, and yada yada yada. I could go on for a little bit longer, but I don't want to at this point. However, adding all of these things to a car, like the double clutch gearbox, the differential, and all the other parts to make those cars as fast as they are, all those things add weight, and that is where the Integra shines. It's a light car. All you get is, you know, power steering, probably ABS, but it's a well balanced car, so it doesn't need a differential, it doesn't need traction control, it doesn't need, you know, stability control and any of the sort. It doesn't need all of that. I imagine that if Honda could make, or if anyone, including tuners, or for example tuners I should say, if anyone could make an Integra that has like 300 horsepower and is still just as well balanced, or even more so than a stock one, that would probably be even faster around the Nürburgring than the Megane RS Trophy or the Honda Civic Type R. It'll be even faster, I'm pretty sure about that. Back on topic to the MX-5, I just think that in order, like, first of all, I can't afford a new car to begin with, so everything that follows now is basically irrelevant in practice. So, but if I were to buy a sports car, like if I were to buy a new car that, or actually just a new car in general, I would like to have one that makes me feel great driving it, that feels sporty, that feels, you know, fast, that handles well, that feels dynamic. And obviously the Miata handles great. It's got amazing handling. It's got good brakes. Only thing that it's lacking is in power. Like it makes you feel good, but you know, you always wish for just a little bit more power to really enjoy going in a straight line even a little bit more. And especially with a 1.5 liter engine and 131 horsepower, like you notice every single bit of extra weight in the car. Because it's a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, doesn't make that much torque, you know, it just doesn't feel that potent compared to, say, I don't know what do you get for that price. I don't know, but I know that the BMW 320i is just at least 10,000 euros more expensive, but at the same time, it's got it's not only got a 2 liter engine, it's also turbocharged. It makes a good amount of torque. It's got an 8-speed automatic gearbox with, you know, pretty good gear ratios, so that it basically pulls whatever gear you're in. And that is kind of what I would prefer, as opposed to, you know, feeling every single gram in weight difference and having to shift all the time to make sure you're in the right gear. And, you know, oh yeah, we're still missing a couple of parts. That is why I probably wouldn't buy a Miata in Austria, at least with the options that we have, even if I had the money. Instead, like for 23,000, 24,000, something like that, I think the Miata costs in Austria. For that kind of money, I could buy myself. I could even buy an E46 M3, which is not really a comparable car to the MX-5, to be honest with you, but you know, needless to say, I'd rather have that. Also, I would rather have a, you know, 2008 or something 325i. I would rather have that too. Is this complete now? No, we still need to put some oil in here. Because the 325i, it's got a very solid engine. The 2.5 liter, like that generation of the 2.5 liter is just an absolutely fantastic engine. Very good torque, very good power band. Just 218 horsepower is definitely enough to get you going. It just feels fast whenever you put your foot down. So okay, I think we're done with this car now. Let's see, how much is it worth now? 44,880. I was expecting a little more. Still. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.